And my motto is, if I can help you break through your first few online sales, which will literally help you break through your mind blocks, that can literally help you break through your entire life. Okay, so my motto there is actually something that we're going to go into a lot more into this video, where I'm going to be inviting to the chat my good friend Samuel Mojica Jr., who is my internet affiliate marketing buddy. And he's not actually been in this game for too long. And he's going to go into his story as I pass over the mic to him. But what I want to share with you guys today is, if you've ever thought about being in this internet marketing journey, or you're in it already, and you might have faced some limitations, you might have felt, some limiting beliefs or some sort of idea like that. I want to let you know from watching this video that you're going to have so much more belief. You're going to actually understand what it takes to be successful online. And when I say successful, I don't just mean about the money. I mean about the impact that you have on others, because ultimately we're in a people business, guys. Money is great. I'm not going to lie. We are all enticed to join this industry because we love the money, or we just needed the money, right? But what we're going to share with you is something that goes beyond that. And what I think is really cool is you're going to hear it from someone who's of just 21 years of age. He's brand new to the industry. He had like no education coming into millionaire mentoring, which is what we're going to be talking about. That's how he got into his online journey. He had no formal education from going to, professional schools or college and stuff like that as well. He was actually working in a factory whilst he was making this happen. So if you're ever thinking, oh, something's not in my favor, I've got certain limitations, haven't got enough money as well, because he's someone who started from zero, then I really want you to take the time to watch this interview throughout, to concentrate, to take some notes, because you're really going to understand what it means to break through and how you can have it for yourself as well. So without further ado, he's waiting patiently alongside me right now, but listening in closely, I'm sure. I'll pass over to you, Samuel. Thank you for joining me in this interview, by the way. Pleasure to have you here. Loving your
smile, for having me, man.
Always. Yeah. There you go. All right, let me pass over to you. Please, whatever, do what you got to do.
Awesome, man. Thank you for the introduction. Well, what I'm going to do right now on this interview, it's more like a conversation at this point, right? What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn back the clock all the way to the time that I had nothing, right? Because something that my mentor taught me is that no matter how far I get over here, no matter how much money I make on this side, I always have to remember what happened over here. Because what happened over here made me into this man over here. Right. So now going back to this guy back here, right? Guys, I'm 21 years old. Before I got started with the whole internet marketing world, right? I used to pretty much, like, I know a lot of probably young kids like me can relate with me. I used to literally leech off my mother and just, oh, mom has all the bills paid. So all I have to do is just play games all day, do nothing with my life. Right after high school, I literally for 2 years after high school, all I did was play games and waste time, right? Because I don't know, I was irresponsible. I was an irresponsible brat, right? And it wasn't until that one day, and I still remember it to this day, where my mother literally walked into my room. She told me, son, let's go, pack up your stuff. And as a son, where I was dependent on my mother, I couldn't just tell her, like, no, I just had to do what she told me to do. So what I did is I packed up my clothes, I put in the trunk of the car, we went inside the car, and that's when she told me, we just lost our home. This car and the clothes in the trunk is all we have left.
Wow.
And that's when it hit me. That's when it hit me that I've been irresponsible. That's when it hit me. That car ride, I still remember it to this day, because that car ride was the longest car ride in my life. It was probably where I was at the lowest point in my life, because all I could do was just sit there watching my mother crying, watching my little sister crying, and not being able to do anything about it. I couldn't say anything. I couldn't do anything. Right? I felt like a nobody. I felt worthless at that time, right? Because this whole entire, time span of after high school to that point, I felt useless, right? And you ever get like when you're feeling super emotional, like tears, and you're trying to hold back the tears, right? Like you get a feeling in your neck where you just, you can't even talk. It's like you're choking on your own voice, right? And I still get emotional when I talk about it because that was a bad moment, right? And during that time, man, I got super emotional, right? And I just couldn't do anything. So shortly after, we went homeless for about a week or two. And thankfully, my mother, we have her best friend that we went over to her house and they were able to get me a job at the factory. Because I realized that, look, guys, since I don't have a college degree, I only had two options, work at a fast food restaurant or work at a factory, right? So thankfully, my mother had a connection. Yeah, you gotta weigh the best of two evils. Right. Thankfully, my mother had a connection, and I was able to get a job at a bread factory. So going into that factory, just before I even cover the brief story in the factory, because I wasn't there for that long before I became free, thankfully. I thank God every day for that.
Yeah.
The moment I stepped into that factory, I knew that I wasn't going to stay there forever. I knew that I wanted more. I knew that I deserved more. I knew that I could do more with my potential, but I needed a crutch. I needed something to depend on so I can at least help my mother pay bills, because that was my only focus. Help my mother pay bills. Yeah. And it wasn't even that. It was also I needed to rebuild my confidence, right? My confidence was completely at the lowest it was ever going to be, right? Where I looked at myself like I was a piece of trash.
Yeah.
Sadly, I know a lot of people go through that feeling. I just did not love myself because of how irresponsible I was. So I went into that factory with the mindset of, all right, I'm not going to stay here forever, but I need to work on myself. So I was there for a total of 4 months, right? I know some people last years in jobs. I lasted 4 months. But from day one all the way to the last month, I literally looked at audiobooks. Like I listened into audiobooks every day. I started bringing books to the factory. And during my lunch break, we had a 1-hour lunch break, right? I would eat for 10 minutes. I would read for 50 minutes. And that was my sacred time. My coworkers knew that was my sacred time where all I did was read and study. That's it, right? Because I needed to work on my mind. I wasn't more than financially broke. I was mentally broke. And I was also spiritually broken. Right. So I needed to make sure I needed to rebuild myself up as a man again, and I used the factory as a vehicle for me to do that. So I think by the second month in the factory, if I remember correctly, it might be the first month. I think it's the second one though. I started researching, ways to make money online because I'm a young guy. I've used the internet since I was a little kid. Right. So I knew there was ways to make money online. I could look at I saw that there was Amazon. I saw that there was, internet marketing, affiliate marketing, CPA marketing, everything with the word marketing behind there. Right? There's 100 things. Right? Yeah. And I'm here like, I'm a pretty smart guy. I can maybe figure it out. To make the long story short, I joined about 100 programs. Out of those 100 programs, and maybe one program kind of worked out for me, right? But it wasn't enough to get me out of the job, and I was still living every single day in fear.
Wow.
When you go homeless, by the way, just so you know, and hopefully, I don't wish this upon anyone. When you lose everything, you live every day in fear that would happen again. You never want to go back to that again, right? I didn't want to feel like a failure again. I didn't want to see my mother crying like that again, especially not over money. Yeah. So what I did after I started studying, about affiliate marketing, all that stuff, and trying out all these programs, on my Facebook, this is by the end of the second month after I finished out a couple programs, I reached out to a man named Darren Little, which is now he's our millionaire mentor. I saw that, well, what I liked about Darren is that I saw that he had a lot of success stories around him. Because what I like to do is I do look at the person's success. Obviously, you want to have someone with a lot of years of experience and all that stuff. But I like to see the success stories around them because to me, that's important. So I saw that he had all these students with success stories, right? 17-year-old kid makes 35 grand in 35 days. Single mother goes on to make $175,000 in 1 year. Real estate agent adds an extra $120,000 in 9 months to her real estate business. These were big numbers to me at the time because I was making like $2,000 a month, right? And I was working 12 to 14 hours a day. I hated. I was literally half of my life was in that factory. Half of my day of the 24 hours was spent in that factory. It's like I lived there. Right? At that moment, I lived there for most of the day. So I wanted a way out. I wanted freedom. So, and I knew it was possible. I've seen people do it, but I knew that I didn't have the time to just figure things out. I needed help.
Yes.
I needed help. So
Yeah.
what I did is I reached out to Darren and I asked him like, hey Darren, like what do I need to do for you to mentor me? I just straight out asked him like, what do I need to do for you to
So
help
you
me
went
out?
to him direct.
Directly. I needed help.
Yeah.
I knew I needed help. You know, a lot of people, they don't reach out for help until they lose
Yeah.
everything, right? You will reach out for help once you realize that it's a lot harder than you thought it was.
Yeah.
There's only two options. You either quit or you reach out for help, right?
Yeah.
So I reached out. Thankfully, I'm still grateful to this day that thankfully I did not quit. I reached out for help and I asked him like, hey man, like what is it gonna take? And I still remember this, right? Because it shocked me at the time. He
Yeah.
told me, Sam, first off, are you coachable? Hell yeah, I'm coachable, man. I'm ready to go, right? He's like, how much money do you want to make in the future? Oh, I want to make at least $10,000 a month, right? How much money do you make now, Sam? Oh, I make, anywhere from $1,500 to $2,000 a month, right? He's like, what are you going to use the money for once you make 10 grand? And I told him, I literally wrote in paragraphs of things that I was going to do, right? Oh, I'm going to,
yeah,
I'm going to travel and I'm going to quit my job and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. I'm going to be on top of the world, right? Like I told him all these things, and then he told me, all right, how serious are you about that on a scale from 1 to 10? And I'm like, bro, I'm a 20. I'm a freaking 20. I'm a freaking, I'm 100, right? And he told me, so if I were to tell you that it was, $1,349 for me to be your mentor, would you do it? And I froze, right? Because quite frankly, I was living paycheck to paycheck because I was helping my mother pay bills. All the money I was making, I would give it to my mom.
Yeah.
So I looked at that number and I told myself, holy cow, I don't even have that money. I don't even have that money in my bank account at that time, right? I literally froze because I'm like, I couldn't answer back to him.
Sure.
So literally, I think he told me, he's like, you have 2 days to get it, right? Or I can't mentor you. And that sucked because then for the next 2 months, I didn't get help because I didn't respond to be honest, quite frankly, I just did not respond to him because I'm here like, okay, I don't have the money for this, right?
Yeah.
But I made a decision. I made a decision that instead, because there's always two sides of a coin, right? And I learned this through the audiobooks. The audiobooks and the books helped me reach this decision. I can either one, be a victim to my circumstances, or two, I can be a leader.
Yes.
Right? I can make a decision as a man to move forward and know that, all right, I need $1,349 to change my life. Right? And that's a decision I made. Instead of saying, oh, you know what? There's no way I can do it. Maybe it's just not for me. I was dealt this hand of being a factory worker. Forget, I'm just going to stay here. Right? Hopefully God brings something on my lap and that's it. Right? That's a decision I could have made. But what I said is, you know what? No. I know how much money I need now. I want this guy to mentor me. I need freedom. I want to be free. I don't want to be in this factory anymore. Right? Yeah. So what I did for the next 2 months after that is all I did was save money. I became frugal. And bro, like if you knew me back then, you would never invite me out to anywhere because I would never pay. Right? I just would not waste money. I would not go out. I would always get food from the house. Yeah. Right? I wouldn't buy any new clothes. I wouldn't buy nothing. Whenever my friends took me out, I'm not paying, right? Like I literally told them, like, dude, I'm not paying. I'm saving up for something, and I just went into full frugal mode because I needed to. I knew what I needed to get, right? I needed to get that 1349, and it was a necessity. It was like a life or death thing because I was still living out of fear, day by day, not knowing when's the day that we go homeless again. Being in that situation where I would go into depression. Like I wasn't willing to risk that, right? So fast forward. 2 months after I finally got the money that I needed, I went to Darren and the text is still there. One day I'll just take a Snapchat of the text so people can see it. It's so funny. I literally told them, Darren, I have the money. Give me the link. I know how much it's going to cost.
Demand it. Let me pay you.
I signed up right there. I signed up literally that same night, like not an hour after he gave me that link. I signed up and I told him like, bro, I'm ready. You know what? That was 100% of my bank account, just so you know. At the time, I drained it to zero. Yeah. Drained my bank account to zero because I knew what I needed. This was a life or death situation for me. And what I did too, previous to this, because I knew once I saw my bank account reach the money that I needed, I quit my job. Because in my mind, I knew that, and that was a risky move, right? A lot of people will be like, that's freaking crazy. And it was crazy. But I knew that by having a safety net here,
Yes.
I wouldn't go all the way over here, right?
100%.
If I had this safety net of a job still here, first, I wouldn't have enough time to put into this.
Yeah.
And second, I would be like, oh, you know what? If this whole mentoring thing doesn't work out, at least I have my job. I didn't want to have that safety net. I wanted to be all in. I wanted to not just dip my toes, but put my whole freaking body in the Kool-Aid. Right? Yeah. I wanted to swim in the Kool-Aid. I inject the Kool-Aid at that point. I'm like, this needs to work. It was a necessity. So once he pretty much told me, he gave me very basic rules. Sam, there are 3 training videos. I need you to watch them 6 times minimum. That's all he did. That's all he said. That's the only information he gave me. And at the time, I needed it to work, right? So I'm like, hey, if he tells me to watch these videos 6 times, I'll watch them 6 times, right? 4 days, it took me 4 days to reprogram my mind because I needed to kind of take out the garbage in my head. Right? I needed to reprogram what's going on in the head because I was still an employee in my mind.
Yes.
I wasn't ready to be a CEO. I wasn't ready to have my own business. I wasn't ready for all the responsibility that comes with being in charge of your own life. Right. So what I did is I watched the videos 8 times. I was literally spending 15, when I was in the factory, I was working 12 to 14-hour days.
Yeah.
But since I didn't have the factory anymore, I was listening to the videos and watching them 12 to 14 hours a day.
Were you told to watch it 8 times?
6.
6 times, but you chose to watch it 8 times.
I needed those extra 2 times. I really needed it. Even after 6, I still wasn't where I felt I needed to be mentally. Yeah. Right. So I watched them 2 more times and it clicked. It finally, on the last time I watched it, everything just clicked together and made sense to me. And on the 5th day, I made $1,000. My very first $1,000 day. And I always tell people, and I'm living proof of this, that everything is impossible until you do it. Right. Absolutely. Making I couldn't even imagine if you were to ask me when I was working in the factory that I can make $1,000 in 1 day. Yeah. I would tell you either 1, you're nuts. Yeah. Right. Or I would tell you, 2, you're really nuts. Right. I would just I wouldn't believe it. I would not believe it. I would be skeptical. I would be like, is this a scam? Like, what is he talking about? $1,000 a day. Right. Until you do it. Once you make $1,000 a day, like it opened up the possibilities for me because I started thinking, wait a minute, what if I can make it tomorrow as well? Exactly. What if I can make it the day after? What if I can make $1,000 a day every single day? And I found out that those 2 words are probably the most powerful words in the dictionary. What if? What if I become financially free now? What if I actually I'm getting goosebumps because I'm remembering this. What if I actually make $10,000 this month? What if I can actually take care of my mother this month and I can get her out of debt this month? Right? And what happened is that on day number 2, I made $1,000. On day number 3, I made $1,000. My first 10 days, I've already made $10,000. And my mentor called me and he told me, Sam, look, man, you're going to have to bump up your goal to 20,000. You've already reached 10. It's only been 10 days. You still have like 3 weeks to go, right? You still have quite a while to go, man. So you need to raise the goal. Like, don't be, because what happens, when you reach a certain level of success, right? Like, let's say if I was making $2,000 a month in the factory, and just in 10 days, I made 10 grand, right? The human condition kicks in where I'm like, oh, I made as much money as I make in 4 to 5 months in the factory. I made it in 1 month. I don't have to work anymore for a while, right? I can just get lazy, get complacent. Yeah. Right? And that's what was happening. So my mentor called me. He's like, Sam, stay humble, stay close to the fire. Remember where you came from and keep pushing forward. Yeah. Right? That's what I kept doing. So I went on to fast forward. I went on in the first month, which was literally 6 weeks ago. It's funny. It's still so recent. Like it's fresh on my heart. 6 weeks ago, I made $24,000. This month, I've already locked in $615,000 over the next 5 years for my family. And I'm actually trying to push that to over $1 million by the end of this month. I have it's the 20th. So I have 10 days. I have 10 days to raise that from 600K to $1 million. Right. And now I'm financially free. Like now I can live in freedom. And I always tell people more than the money I've made, more than the success I've had now. Yeah. The greatest thing to me is now I can take care of my family. And now I love myself again. I learned how to love myself again. Yeah. That was big for me. I learned how to surrender.
And that had to happen during the process. It couldn't be because you've got this big bank account now. Now you can love you. Now you can love yourself. Now you can, look after your family. Now all that stuff. It's actually, there's this phrase: to become a millionaire in a bank account, you have to become a millionaire in your mind before you become a millionaire in your bank account.
Well said.
or something. Yeah,
That's literally it, man. Like I've had to every single day since starting the mentorship program last month, even till today, because I still do these things every day. Because my mentor told me, don't forget what got you to where you are.
Yeah.
Right. So what I did on the first month, I'm doing the same, just on a bigger scale now. This month, right? I'm still doing the same things. And one of the things I do is I play a little mental game because I like to make life a game, right? Life truly is a game if you make
an experiment. Yeah.
Right. And I tell myself, all right, you know what? When I wake up, I'm gonna look at myself in the mirror and I'm gonna believe as if I'm already a millionaire. I'm gonna talk as if I'm already a millionaire in my head. I'm gonna actually believe it in my physiology, in my subconscious. I believe it's true. Right. And funny enough, I start making the right connections. The money starts coming in and with more abundance and more power, I start receiving more money. Right. Yes. People start coming to me for help now. Right. Which that's what this month now is a transition from who I was last month to now being a CEO. Because now this month I'm doing webinars. This month I'm collecting a whole hundreds of leads, hundreds of people on my email list. This month I'm truly stepping into my power, into my greatness. Into my worthiness, and I'm actually starting to be a boss. So I really do believe this month I can raise at least 50, 60 grand. And now, you know what's funny? Not every month is like that. And I want to be, before we continue on with the other questions, I want to let people know that my mentor told me as well, when it comes to making money online, it comes in seasons, right? Right now we're in summer. So summer is a good time to make a lot of money. But when December and when the winter comes near, guys, a lot of people don't have money around those times because they're buying gifts. Right. So you may have, instead of having a $60,000 month like you did in the summer, you may only have a $10,000 to $15,000 month. And that's okay. That's why our mentor teaches us how to actually build our wealth and save our money, you know, so that we're not left high and dry during the winter. Right. So that's my story, man. I hope you got a lot from that. That's how I went from, you know, from homeless to factory worker to now being fully financially free and now being able to live the freedom lifestyle and not have to wear suits or anything, man.
That's what it's about. That's actually what motivated me into getting into this industry, when I can see people, real people like yourself. So thank you so much for sharing your whole story. And I think it is really important, like how much of it you actually said, because if we replay this all back, if I'm like writing notes, there are tons of little bits in there that are so crucial that actually everyone's just going to bypass if they're just doing things the normal way. For example, people know about mentorship's important, but do they understand the idea of surrender? Do they understand the idea of what if? Do they understand all those little bits at the beginning, you know? So for example, you were talking about being at a real low, right? It's almost like your ego is completely dropped and the only thing you can do is ask for help, right?
That's called the breaking point. When a lot of people, you know, and this is, I wish it wasn't like this, but this is the truth, right? It has yet to be proven wrong. Someone does not fully surrender their ego and pride, and so they lose everything. And so they're at the very bottom, and they're like, you know what? I can't go any lower than this, right? I need help. When they say those three words, I need help, their life starts to change. And that's what happened to me. So that's a breaking point.
And hopefully what helps people with that idea of surrendering is when they see these real examples of people and good people as well. This is what I love about our community. It's not like, okay, this guy's great at making cash and he has this crazy cool lifestyle now and all this stuff. No, you give back. This is important because when I look at what does, I don't get impressed by what does someone earn. I get impressed by what have they given in order to deserve what they earn, whether that's giving to themselves, you know, in terms of they have to believe in themselves first, right? Or giving back to the people you are serving, the people who bought from you, right? So, for example, you not just mentoring your students, you actually inspire many people within our community, right? Look at you right now. You're taking your time out. It's been a few hours to get this really interesting. Taking your time out. Here you are with me. You're sharing value with my people, including myself, actually, because this is a real, you know, good one-to-one chat. Anyway, watching, but you inspire many, many people, and I guess that's the key thing, right? So how much are you giving to the marketplace when you actually earn the money that you deserve?
That's super well said. And my mentor said it. He said it best. And by the way, you guys are always going to notice, I always refer to my mentor, right? Because another thing my mentor told me is never forget your mentors.
Yes.
Don't forget the guys or the women or men who got you to where you are, right? Because like at this point, our mentor, he's like, at least to me, he's like an uncle, right? I look at him like a rich uncle I've never had. And,
well, rich dad, poor dad.
and something he told me was, Sam, look, in this industry, the more value you provide, the more money you make. The more lives that you impact, your bank account's going to reflect that impact, right? And I took that to heart. I told myself, wait a minute, he's right. So let me start doing Facebook Lives. Let me start posting. Let me actually start sharing value with people. Let me start doing these interviews to share as much value as possible. Because one of my goals is, I guess I'll just be vulnerable. I'll tell you one of my biggest goals, right? One of my biggest goals that I write down every single day is that I want my success story to inspire millions.
Yes.
I truly do. I truly want my success story to inspire millions, to show people that no matter what hand you were dealt in life, there's a way out.
I like it.
Right. And so that's I wanted to add those little 2 cents there before I moved forward.
And that's really cool. That actually resonates a lot with why I first got into this industry. And I think a lot of people do feel the same way. It's just how much do they really follow through in making it happen? This idea of breaking through limitations to literally become limitless. Like, as you mentioned there are quite a few limitations. I would say what people might call limitations that you would have experienced. For example, putting your bank account to zero. For example, lack of education.
Never a fun thing.
You don't know who this person is on the other side of the messenger chat that you're actually speaking to. You just know him through postings and stuff, right? So there's lots of that, but something was there in you. And I totally get it when someone is, for example, homeless like yourself, someone is absolutely like in the lowest of the lows. And you said it yourself, that is the truth. And I haven't been through that same experience, but the idea that it's almost like, it's like a spiritual calling in you to actually say, no, I am gonna go for it. Like you said, I'm gonna go all in. And I'm actually an example of someone who also pretty much went all in, because I actually quit my job. I was in a job that was actually a good job in most people's eyes, but it's something that I just knew this is not what I want to be in forever. Just like how obviously you would have felt that in yours. And I honestly think when you really, really listen to the call and you go all in for it, because for me as well, when I was working my job and I had my first $1,000 day online, I was like, this is real. Wow. Like, yes, I've heard about it. Yes, people in my community are making these sales, but only until you really make that first sale do you actually be like, whoa, this is real. Like your belief just changes through the roof.
Yep.
And it's like, if we can just get to that first few breakthrough sales, it logically just makes sense to repeat it again and again. Obviously, there may be some challenges from the human condition like you're talking about, but to get started, to make those first few sales, like what was going on in your head?
Well, like I said, the first 4 days, all I did was train, right? I knew that I wasn't ready yet to make that money, mainly because I didn't love myself enough to know that I was worth $1,000 a day, right? And I know a lot of people will hear that and they'll be like, what does he mean by that? Until you love yourself and you feel worthy of the money, you're never going to get there, right? You're never going to make that money, because how are you going to make $1,000 in one day if you don't even believe it to be a possibility? You know, something humbling? Guys, there's people making $100,000 a day. Put that into perspective, right? Like try wrapping your head. I can't even barely wrap my head around that, right? But it's happening, and it's thousands and thousands of people doing it right now, right? So what I had to do is reprogram my mind. I had to do a lot of mirror work, right? Which mirror work basically just is, I had to literally every single day for those first four to 5 days, I had to literally look at myself in the eye, look at the man in the mirror, and tell him, I am worthy.
You see him?
You are. Wait, what is that? I love that. Yep, basically. That's amazing, man. That basically sums it up. It's literally, and look, this takes, by the way, 15 seconds. 15
Yeah.
seconds of your morning to look at yourself and just tell yourself, look, I love who you are. I love what you stand for. You are worthy of $1,000 every single day. You are worthy of success. There is not enough money on this planet that can equal your worth. And I forgive you for anything that's happened in the past. I forgive you for how you used to think, because you're not who you were in the past. You are who you are right now. Right? And I love you and I accept you for that. I'm getting goosebumps because I'm looking at myself, right? You didn't look at yourself.
I'm staring there, watching you say that.
And what that's doing, like kind of we go to the subconscious side of it, what that's doing is that you tap into your greatest version. You walk out of that bathroom as if you're already there. Look, your subconscious mind, everyone that's watching this, right? Just so you know, your subconscious mind can't tell the difference whether something happened in the past, the present, or the future.
Right.
So one of the biggest sayings that my mentor told me was that you have to grab the future and put it into your body. Grab the future and accept it as reality right now. I walk out of that bathroom already believing that I'm a multimillionaire. I walk out of that bathroom already believing that I've inspired millions of people. One of my goals is that, you know, I am the top producer in what I'm doing, right? And I write it every single day. When I'm writing it down, I'm setting the intention, right? I'm visualizing it. I can see myself on the mirror work. I tell myself I am the top producer, and I step into that reality. And boom, I walk out of that bathroom in the body. I'm not in my body anymore. I'm in the body of the version of myself that's already a top producer. And that's going to affect the way I talk. That's going to affect the way I present myself. It's going to affect my message, because I'm no longer the victim anymore. I'm now the leader that I've always wanted to be, and I'm living the dream right now. And that's kind of what happened to me. When I finally tapped into that mindset, Andy, I made $1,000 the next day because I finally tapped into it. Once you tap into that, like, you feel confident. You enter what my mentor calls the no fear zone. Yeah. You're not scared of anything anymore. You feel like you're on top of the world, like nothing can bring you down. Right? Yeah. And that's when I actually started just moving forward in blind faith and believing that this is true. I didn't question. I know a lot of people would question quantum physics. They'll question everything I just said right now.
Yeah.
But the truth of the matter is that the very people that question it, they're the ones having the most trouble.
Sure.
Because they have to be willing to surrender. You have to surrender. There's no way around it. There's different levels to it, right? You have to surrender, and you have to keep surrendering.
Yeah.
If this guy made multiple millions of dollars, what the hell do I know, man? I was a factory worker. Why am I going to try questioning what this guy is teaching me? He's already made multi-millions. Documented too. Like he's not just talk. He documented multi-millions.
Yeah.
And if he tells me to look at myself in the mirror and to love myself, I'm going to look at myself in the mirror and I'm going to love myself. If he tells me to freaking jump up and down right now because it's going to get me all hyped up, I'm going to be jumping like this, right? I'm going to be jumping up and down the whole time. Right. So that's the mindset that I got into. And it just started coming in. I started believing more and more. And the more I believed in myself, the more money I made. Right. I had a $2,000 day. Then I had a $3,000 day. And now I'm fluctuating between $1,000 to $3,000.
Ultimate. Yeah. No, I mean, honestly, everything you said there totally makes sense. It's just a question. If they told the most simplest thing, like look at yourself in the mirror, like say these affirmations to yourself, like, that's just to help. Okay, I was going to kind of talk about some marketing strategies, but I do think this stuff, if we don't talk about this stuff, we're actually doing a disservice to the audience, because really and truly, this stuff you've just said, this has made the transformation happen. This has made your value turn into cash. This has actually made you create value in the first place, because you were saying you felt worthless before, you didn't love yourself before. So why would someone buy from you? If you don't feel worthy of deserving, why would someone pay you?
That's well said. I mean, that's very well said. Think of it like this. If you don't even believe in yourself that you can make $1,000 a day, right? If that's what you believe to be true, it's going to be true for you. And how are you going to be able to talk about it confidently?
Yeah.
Possible. You won't. You'll talk about it with doubt and not a skepticism. And guys, human beings, we're like tuning forks, right? Yeah. You can be saying one thing, but we can feel whether you actually believe in it or not. We can feel it, right? It's in us. We're like a tuning fork. So when you encounter someone that's passionate, that they know what they're talking about, they believe in what they're talking about, you can feel it. You can hear it in their voice, right? You can look them in the eye and say, you know what? I trust this guy, or I trust this woman, I trust this girl, right? I'm like losing my voice here. It's crazy. Right?
The frequency is crazy.
It's okay, man. But that's basically it. Like I'm telling, before you make, I think you said it best, and our mentor says it really well. Before you make money in your bank account, it has to happen in here. And a lot of times, guys, look, all these multimillionaires, don't look at the money they make. Look at their habits. Look at the mindset that they adopt daily. If you can mimic the mindsets and the daily habits of a successful person, what's going to happen? You're probably going to become successful yourself, right? It all starts in the mind. It all starts through their habits, not through the money comes because of the habits, right?
Yeah.
The money comes because of the process, and it's a process. And I'm gonna end my little like preach here with one verse that even to this day, like I have it written down in my room. Be married to the process and divorced from the outcomes. A lot of people right now, they're actually married to the outcome and divorced from the process. They're so worried about making money and about, getting those sales, closing those sales, right? That they forget that, wait a minute, hold up. The sales are going to come naturally because of the process, right? Because it's a personal development process. Before you're making $10,000 a month, you have to believe that you can do it. You have to become that person who can do it. Adopt the habits that of a person that makes $10,000 a month, right? Then you're there. To make $20,000 a month, it's the same process, right?
Yeah.
Adopt the habits, see what this person is doing, right? And then you get there. 30,000, 40,000, 100,000, right? So that's one of my biggest tips to become successful. If you want to become a billionaire, right? Or even just a millionaire is good for you. Right? Study the habits of someone who's already there. Someone that has experience, and study their habits and do them. You can't just study and not do them, right? You have to, everything that we spoke about, you're going to notice the one key thing is that it all takes massive action, all of it. It's not going to come from the sky. Look, I've looked at the movie The Secret. I do believe in the law of attraction.
Yeah.
But I don't believe that things just come falling on your lap. I believe that you have to set the intention and you have to start pursuing it. Right?
Well said, well said. Because law of attraction does have a lot of attraction, a lot of people know about it. But the difference is to manifest. The difference, like you said, your feeling is super right. But you got to deserve what you're getting, right? And, I'm a big fan of what Darren also tells us to look into in terms of part of the training, reading books, or listening to audios, like Ask and It Is Given. Like these are the kind of things that I just know that when I first came across it, it just lit up like my entire life, like being like, I genuinely can feel like this is a real thing. And you were talking about being married to the process and divorced from the outcome. And it kind of relates to that idea of surrender. Like we just surrender to the process rather than, we can make it up. We don't need to be all that coachable. We just fully, I kind of get how this happens. Now I'm going to go off and do it my own way. Or, like you said, it's hard to divorce from the outcome when the outcome is what you want. To surrender to the idea that you can let go of if that outcome can happen or not, and just walk the tightrope of the process. Just doing that, it's amazing. It's actually like physically.
That's where a mentor helps a lot. That's where not only a community helps, that you have all these leaders making it happen, so you can follow them.
Yeah.
But a mentor keeps you straight, and a mentor I know we repeat that word a lot. I just want to clarify what a mentor really is.
Yeah.
Right. A mentor is someone that you can actually get on the phone today and ask them, hey, look, I need help with this, and they can provide you their wisdom through their experience. That's a mentor. Yeah. I know a lot of people say they have mentors, and their mentors are YouTube videos.
Yeah.
And then you ask them, that's cool.
Yeah.
It's like, that's cool, but you can't call that person directly right now. That's not a mentor, that's a coach. That's not even a coach, right? That's literally just someone, an influencer that you're studying, but that's not a true mentor yet. A mentorship is something that's more like one-to-one. It's something that's more personal.
Two-way communication.
Yeah, it's almost like if let's say, you ever watch one of those old Kung Fu movies?
Yeah.
Where the student goes to the master and is like, master, I need you to help me. Like, take me as a disciple, right? And that master accepts him. Guys, can you imagine who's going to learn more about Kung Fu? That one guy in America who's watching YouTube videos trying to learn all the different techniques, or that disciple who now has a master of that Kung Fu martial arts that can literally teach them and look at them saying, all right, and let's say, I see you're throwing a punch. You need to fix this. You need to fix that. You need to fix this, that, and boom, now you throw the perfect punch because they just fixed you up right on the spot, right? That's what a mentor does for you, right? So whenever I talk about mentorship, I always try to clarify. Like, I know a lot of people, they're misinformed, right? They say Tony Robbins is my mentor.
Exactly. I know. I hear that so many times. It's I mean, my first examples of mentor was, for example, Darren as well. And then it's just funny when we hear people say they're my mentor, and then they say, okay, have you got them on speed dial? Well, how am I going to do that? He's not your mentor.
Yep.
Yeah, totally. One thing I really want to say there actually, about the mentor. Okay, so we know a mentor obviously knows what they're doing, right? And it's one thing a mentor knowing what to do. It's another thing being able to teach it and duplicate it to others. And I'm a mentor myself, right? And I thought I was doing very well when I was, yes, I've had a couple of $1,000 days online as well. But when I was making, for example, $10,000 generated sales in the space of 2 months, I thought that was great compared to where I started, right? And I think the key thing is when you want to increase your income, like you said, you need to spend time and study the people who have achieved the income that you really want. And one rule that I really like, which I think Darren also mentions, is 10x. So if you want to earn 10 times more than what you're at right now, find that person here, right? Or if you're where you are right now, find someone who is earning 10 times more than you. Don't try and find someone on a similar level to you, right? Unless you need a different type of goal, more to do with your mindset rather than your income.
Yep.
And what I do like about this community is the members who benefit, right? They don't need to be that crazy high earner just yet. And this idea of being a networker, right? Being a networker, not trying to be the salesperson, because when you try and be the salesperson, all of a sudden you're like, you believe, can I do it? Can I do it? But as a networker, why don't you tell us the difference? Because I'm sure when you started, you weren't being the front man. You weren't saying like, hey, I'll show you how to make $1 billion. Like you would have started like that. And I think that this is really important because a lot of people don't understand that their job is just to network, right? Maybe sometime later down the line and you really want to boost your income. To get started and create income stories, you just need to be a networker, right? Could you talk a little bit about that?
Sure, good question. I don't think I've ever been asked this question. It's awesome.
Oh, wicked.
So basically, let's first clarify the difference between a salesperson and a professional network marketer. And I know whenever people think about professional, when they hear the word network marketer in general, they think, oh, MLM, right? Most of marketing, when that's not true, right? Because there are network marketers in real estate. There are network marketers as brokers. There are network marketers working at McDonald's, right? A network marketer is someone who focuses on relationships, and they make their money because of the relationships, based off those relationships, and actually real relationships. A salesperson wants instant gratification. They want to make the money today. They want to get the person on the phone and close them today. They're going to use every technique in the book. They're going to pressure them, right? They just want the sale today. And look, and some salespeople won't even pressure them, right? But they want it today. They want instant gratification for their work. A network marketer knows that in order to make, easily to make millions, right? You make millions because of the relationship that you've built with the people that you've networked with. Networking is expanding your network. That's all it is. And you can do this in any profession. You can be a construction worker, but if you become good at communicating with all your coworkers and you build this network of friends all around your job, and you even become buddies with the manager and buddies with the boss, what do you think is going to happen to you in a very short amount of time? You're going to get a promotion. You're going to get multiple promotions, right? So I tell people, like, this isn't just a program, it's mentorship. You learn how to excel in any part of your life, whether you're working a full-time job or you're in a career right now. Maybe you're a doctor, you're a dentist, you're a lawyer, right? Maybe you're a real estate agent, right? Or whether you just want to make money online and you want to live the freedom lifestyle where you're not tied down, you're not tied to anything. You can just literally get on your computer, or at this case, right, since I travel a lot right now, get on my phone. You call me on my off time. Like I like to travel. I'll spend 1 week full traveling, and then I'll spend 1 week relaxing. Right, just here I'm at my best friend's house right now. Right, I'm just here relaxing, just having a good time, and then next week, boom, back on this becomes my office again. I take it around. Right, and I'm gonna give you one of the biggest examples. I'm gonna give you a live example actually. Right. Of a network, what a network marketer, like how you build that relationship with people. Now, look, I'm guilty of this as well. Most people, we sell features and benefits. Salespeople sell features and benefits. Right? And selling features and benefits, that's what pushes people away from you.
Yes.
Right? Solving people's problems is what makes you attractive. That's what attracts people to you. So I'm going to give you an example. This phone. Guys, for some reason, our instincts, we're wired to sell features and benefits. When I got this phone, literally I would go up to my friends and I'll go up to like a couple of my work buddies, right? A couple of my fellow networkers, and I'll say, guys, this phone is awesome. The quality is so high, right? Screen resolution is awesome. It has 64 gigs of data, right? This phone that's features and benefits. They don't care about that.
Yeah.
Right? But can you imagine if somebody, if I were to ask someone, instead of asking them, selling my phone to them, if I ask them, by the way, what type of phone do you have? Oh, Sam, right now I have, I have this iPhone, right? Nice. How long have you had it for? I've had it for a couple months. Do you like that phone? Like, has it been a good phone for you? Yeah, it's been pretty good, but I think I'm looking for something new, right? Or I've been looking for something that's a little better than that. What are you looking for? Are you looking for like higher photo quality or to record videos? Or are you just looking for something that has a lot of storage so you can store pictures and all that stuff, right? Oh, I want to store pictures. I need something with a lot of memory. You know what? I think I can hook you up with something, right? I think I can connect you with something that fits your needs. Would you be interested in that? Sure, Sam. Here you go.
Right. You know what? That was that is such a pleasant way of doing things, right?
Well, yeah, because I'm just asking questions. I'm genuinely interested in their problem. Because look, let's say, for example, let's turn this around. Let's say I told them, right, like if I told you, like, do you like your phone? Actually, yes, Sam, I love my phone, man. Like, I think I'm gonna stay with this phone because I love it. Cool, right? How's your day been going? I'm done selling. I don't have to sell. Right, guys, I'm focused on the relationship. I'm not, if I get on the phone with someone, my intention is not I'm going to sell them on something. My intention is that I'm just going to have a conversation. I'm going to look for if they have a problem, I'm going to see if I can provide a solution, or if I can connect them with someone who can provide a solution. And if they don't have a problem, I'm just going to have a good, 10-minute conversation with them, get to know each other a little bit, right? And make a new friend. That's not stressful at all, right? It's fun. I enjoy making new friends now. And this is something I hope through that example, you got a real life situation, because in real life, you can literally have a conversation with someone and become interested in them. Yeah. Instead of almost like this, like instead of selling the features and benefits of yourself.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Like instead of saying, oh, I've made tens of thousands of dollars and I've so far like this, I've already locked in $600-something thousand a year. Guys, at the end of the day, that doesn't really affect anyone. Right? Because how does it benefit you, even knowing that, right? How does it benefit you at all that I've locked in that much money for my family?
Yeah.
It doesn't. But what does benefit you is whether the value that I just provided now, maybe that alone solves your pain. Maybe I was able to provide an answer that you've been searching for, right? And that's what benefits you. That's actually where the money comes from providing value and getting someone from where they are, right? This is where they are. Yeah. This is where they want to be.
Yeah.
All you have to do is connect it. You just have to build a bridge and connect where they are, where they want to be, and provide the bridge that'll get them there. That'll connect that. Simple.
Yeah.
And that's where the money, like I'm telling you, man, like people, I know some people can't wrap their minds around making $1,000 a day. But guys, it's a lot easier than it looks, right? So it's very easy once you're at that level of personal development. Right? Let me clarify that, right? It's easy only when you are ready for it and you feel worthy of it. Because if you don't feel worthy of it, it's going to be as hard as possible, right? It's going to be freaking nuts. So you have to feel worthy. You have to love yourself enough to know that when I talk to a person, I can genuinely provide a solution to them and feel good about it.
You know what I love about everything that we've spoken about so far? Like, this is something that's applicable to everything, especially in business, but this is something that's applicable to everything. It doesn't just have to be, for example, the affiliate marketing that you're actually doing. It can be network marketing. It could be other types of affiliate marketing products. It could be general business, doing deals between people. Like, the fact that we're learning from a millionaire mentor, someone who's actually done this in real business world as well, offline as well as online, and bringing it online where we can have more leverage and scale. It is quite remarkable, actually, and it doesn't surprise me at all where you've got to, given how much you were able to surrender, because that is the key. Like, out of all of this, once we know the actual strategies, for example, we touched on the networking, but we also learned some cool stuff about marketing. We learned some cool stuff about conversation, even recruiting. All this stuff is involved in any business. And what I love is that this isn't just about recruiting people into a current program. Like you mentioned, the woman who works in real estate, she has six-figured her income in real estate, right? So, and also obviously like becoming the best version of yourself, because you just quickly just touch on money aside, how has this experience changed, transformed you?
I believe in myself. Like now I can truly believe in myself because now I'm a man that can take care of his mother. I'm a man that can be a good big brother to his little sister, right? Now I believe in what I'm capable of. I believe in my own potential, right? And I believe that, it's funny. It's funny that you said that too, because eventually, I think, but hopefully by next year and all that, once I make multiple six figures, that I don't want to be remembered by just the money I make, right? I want to be remembered by the lives that I've impacted. My legacy, just so you know, the way I want to leave this earth is I want to be, let's say, for example, let's say you come in, like, I know you're ready to mentor, but let's say you weren't in the mentorship. You come into the mentorship, right? You start learning from a millionaire mentor. You start getting coaching from me, and you start developing as a human being. It's almost like, this is why I love mentoring. Like, a lot of people tell me, like, Sam, why do you keep doing this for? Why do you keep on with the mentorship? It's because, guys, I get a kick out of it, right? It's like you're a clay molder. You're molding clay, right? And at first it's like just a pile of clay, right? But after working with it with some time, it turns into a beautiful sculpture. And that's what happens with people, right? They come to you sometimes at their lowest, or sometimes they come to you when they already have a good career, but they feel stuck, and you're molding them. You're molding them until they reach their dreams, right? And that gives me a big kick. That's what I want to be remembered for. I want to be remembered. I want, let's say, Andy's family to talk about me. I want Andy to feel confident to tell his kids about me. Hey, I have this crazy 20 something year old, right, with a 10x hat that he made all this money. Now, more than this money, he's helped all these people, right? And then I want that to go on. Like, that's how I want to be remembered. That's how I want to pass down my legacy.
How many hearts you touch rather than how much money in your bank account.
Yeah, that for me, that's what fulfills me, right? That alone, even if I wasn't getting paid to mentor people, I would still do it because I get a kick out of it. Right? I get a huge kick out of it.
It's almost like freedom. When we started this journey, it was all about the money. I'll be honest. Wow, $1,000 a day. I want that so badly. But as we do this journey, what I love is how we go from our head to our heart, like, as in genuinely, like, my freedom is I just want to be able to give as much as possible. Now, obviously, if you're broke, you can't just keep giving. You have to actually get something as well, right?
Yeah.
But to be in a freedom position of just giving, quite ironically, actually, right? That's how you actually receive. So you're giving and receiving is even better, right? But this is what I really like about you. And I wanted to bring you to the interview as well, because we outlined at the beginning, this is not really about the money, right? I know people were excited. Wow, they saw $24,000 in 30 days. I got to learn this. But we're actually telling you the truth here, guys. You probably felt like, oh, I haven't learned some exact how-tos and all this sort of stuff. But like I said during the interview, that would be a disservice, because what's more important is that underlying stuff that you've just not been educated on. Quite honestly, because a lot of people who know about it, they like to keep it to themselves. And the mentor that we have, he actually gives everything. And therefore we learn everything, and then we give everything, because that's the way we were taught. That's the way it should be. There's no scarcity. It's all abundance. There's always more of that where it came from. And you'll feel more free in this way as well, when you can just do that. you frozen? Okay, you're still there. And you know, it's really important to point out, you know, who you surround yourself with is who you become, not just in, you know, your earnings, but also in your habits, your behavior, and how crucial it is to, you know, learn from someone that you do actually trust, right? Because a lot of people who put their idea that they're a coach, they can help you achieve financial freedom, all this stuff, but you really want to be with someone or a community of people, right? End of the day, it's never about the products, it's never about the company. This is a people business. If you're surrounded by the people that you want to be with, who can help you get to your promised land, those are the people you truly, truly want to take the opportunity.
Yeah. I mean, while you're there, actually, if anyone watching this got some huge value so far from this, can you imagine being surrounded by leaders every single day? Right? Being surrounded by this amount of value every single day, being able to reach out to these leaders, interview them, create relationships with them, do webinars with them, right? You will feel, guys, I feel fired up every single day, right? Because I'm looking at Charlene doing work. I'm looking at Billy do work. I'm looking at all these leaders, you know, who are paving the way forward, and it pumps me up. It gets me thinking even bigger. I'm like, wait a minute. What if I can have a $5,000 day like Charlene? What if I can make $5,000 every single day? I start entering the realm of possibility, right? And it's impossible until you do it. It's impossible until you get there. And once you get there, look, you're going to realize, I guess this is my last words of wisdom when it comes to money. When it comes to money, you'll realize that after you reach a certain amount of money per month, guys, money just becomes a tool. It becomes a tool that buys you freedom. That's it. Let me actually give you an example. This right here, let's whip out whatever I have in my wallet because I don't even know what I got in here. There we go. All right, we have good old Grant here, right? This right here, guys, this is a piece of paper. Let's keep it real. Somebody got a piece of paper. They got a piece of paper. They colored it green. They're a really good artist, right? They drew a really nice picture and they drew the number 50 there. And because it says Federal Reserve, now this little piece of paper is worth $50.
Yeah.
Right? When you reach a certain amount of money, you realize that, guys, this isn't even real, right? This is a digit. This is literally just a digit. It's paper, right? But when you make what the money does is that it's a tool that I can exchange for freedom.
Nice.
Right. So I wanted to say that I know a lot of people that get into this whole industry just to make money. And trust me, if that's your only goal, you just want to make $10,000 a month just for the sake of making that money, you're going to feel completely unfulfilled. You will. Trust me, you will feel unfulfilled.
Even if you make money, you will be unfulfilled. Yeah.
Yeah, there needs to be something more to it, right? There needs to be a vision. There needs to be something backing it up. So that way there's a next step for you. There's a next level for you. Right. So I just wanted, hopefully, I know, hopefully I didn't lose anyone there, but I'm just letting you guys know like how it's going to be, right? When you get there, trust me, you know, when you get there, you're going to know exactly what I'm talking about.
Love that. Guys, you've heard so much from Samuel. I don't mean to like disrespect his age number and all that sort of stuff, but age is nothing. Like money is a digit, so is age. What's more important is the value. What's more important is your spirit. Like, how much do you want it? How much do you want to help? How much do you want to give? How much do you want to make it happen? Right? This is what I love about anything is possible. And Samuel mentioned as well, like, this is us two. Fine. Hopefully you got some great value from us, but can you imagine if you spent time with the people that we learned from? Because everyone is touchable. Everyone is accessible. What I love is that so much help and support, like giving, like we said earlier, giving everything that they've got. No one holds back. No one's like, sorry, I'm too busy for you. This is honestly the best opportunity I could ever think of with actually having the access to make your freedom happen. So I've got to say thank you so much to our mentors, Darren, everyone in the community as well. Like, it's
I hope Darren got goosebumps there.
Yeah. Okay, I don't know how long it's been, but I've just had such an amazing time. Just like this. This is like friend to friend, teacher, student, all that sort of stuff. This is what it's about. You know, transformation happens through conversation. And hopefully from listening to us, you felt that within you as well, that you can make it happen for yourself as well. But let's just say, for example, like you just need that little bit more. Let me ask Samuel. Come on, Samuel. They just need that little bit more to make them think that they can do it. This isn't just a dream that just is set but this is real life, because I know people can't relate to it when it's not their reality. What can you say from someone who's been through it, who's actually made it happen, and they can do it as well?
Surrender. One word, surrender. Stop trying to figure things out, right? At the end of the day, sure, you will figure it out eventually, but are you willing to spend those 3 to 10 years to do it? Can your family even afford to wait 3 to 10 years? The answer to that is up to you, right? You have to surrender. You just have to, I'm done trying to figure it out. I need help, right? So those are my my last words, man. Like I also want to say that a mentor, right? What this is, right? A mentor, it's almost like, imagine going into a forest. If you go into that giant forest, right? This forest is like, it spans for hundreds of miles, right? It is a freaking monster forest. Can you imagine going in there with no compass? What's going to happen? I guarantee you within the first 24 hours, you're going to get lost, right? But now imagine you have a compass, and somebody previous to you going to that forest, somebody informed you that as long as you go north, you're going to be able to get from the beginning of the forest to the end of the forest to town. So now you know, when you enter that forest, you look at your compass, it says north, you know your direction. That compass is the mentor. I just wanted to clear. I think that's a good analogy to use.
No, I love that. That's such a nicer way to the saying I say, which is just simply shortcutting your learning curve. But I like it when you can put a vision on it. And it's kind of true. Like, we have a choice. Do we want to do it go alone? Do we want to do it our way? Do we want to do it the way we want it to be, which we don't know if it's going to work? Or do we want the result? I mean, end of the day, it's about, what do you want? Do you want the result? Or do you want to go on your own journey and explore and all this sort of stuff? It really just depends. How much do you want the result? How much would you want to have $1,000 days, as much as, you know, we've had $3,000 days, $24,000 months. Our mentor himself, one day, he's had 120,000, is it?
133,000 last week.
133,000, yeah, exactly. And that was only a week ago. So it's not outdated systems and information. End of the day, it comes down to how much do you want that result? If you've been going through a journey where, honestly, like, we've all been there, right? Like, we're not going to say like, oh wow, we worked it out straight away. We've totally given credit to our mentor, but also we have come from that place where we tried it on our own. It wasn't quite working out. We got all kinds of rejection from, you know, friends and family. That's normally how we're first taught. We spent a lot of money, you know, joining programs, you know, believing, yes, this is the next thing. Honestly, you just have to go with your instinct. What is it you trust in? You know, if it's not worked out for you, Samuel has said it clearly. His last words of wisdom is surrender. I honestly urge you to really consider thinking, how much longer can you go on for? And how much longer can you go on for without achieving what it is you actually want? Because what we get here in Millionaire Mentoring is absolutely transforming things. You're going to learn things that you're not going to get taught anywhere else. And that's actually going to help you get the result that you really, really do want. And that's the reason why we put this interview together, because we do want you to get the result you want, whether you join us or not. We want these concepts to really fit into your head, because we've all needed it. And the people in our community, they wouldn't be where they are without it. Wow.
Well said.
I'm saying it.
That came from the heart. I felt it from over here, man. That was a well said.
We speak from flow. We're just like, this is the best way to do business, right? You know, they say, put emotions aside when you do business. That's just the old way.
Look, the freedom lifestyle is supposed to be fun. I always tell people, online business is supposed to be fun. Marketing itself is actually really fun when you're doing it correctly, because now it's new ideas, there's new campaigns, there's a new angle that you can attack, and it's fun. Every single week it's a new thing, it's fun to do it, right? When you know the formula, and that's what you're taught here. You're taught the 7-figure formula. You're taught how to never get rejected again. You're taught how to actually generate leads, what to do with your leads, and then you're molded into becoming a leader. Someone that has value, who can mentor others and change lives, right? So I think I think there's a button down below.
Yeah, actually, there is.
Where you check it out. I'm gonna throw this out there. There's a $3,000 bonus that I will personally throw out there. It's something called a Super Sunday, where what we did on a Super Sunday is that for 3 hours, our millionaire mentor literally just opened the vault. Like, this guy went next level. and started teaching us everything on how to, like, especially me, he started teaching me personally, like, because this is the way I took it. What he taught me is how to go from 24,000 to 100,000, right, in 1 month. How to go from here to a multiple of it in 1 month on that. And not only that, those Super Sunday guys, it's helped a wife and husband who's been divorced for years. It helped them finally reconnect. And they used the skills of communication that you learn. They use those skills to look at each other, find each other's pain points, change each other's state, and reconnect. It helped real estate agents. It helped brokers. And it's actually worth the 3,000 as well. This is a real world. Like if you were to search it up right now on our mentor's website, that's $3,000 right there. And that's something that I'm going to throw in for those of you that have actually sat through. You guys have like the patience of a saint. I wanted to make sure that you're worth it. Right? Like that's my goal. I'm gonna throw in a $3,000 bonus for anyone that comes into Millionaire Mentoring after watching this interview. Right. So those are my last words, Andy.
And it's not even just like a one-time bonus thing, because once you actually joined in our community, like we said, everyone's reachable, especially ourselves. So if you're coming because you know myself, Andy, if you're here because you know Samuel, then you know that you're going to get us as well. We're going to literally help you through the process, hold you by the hand. As long as you genuinely want it, we are there for you. So that's all we have to say, really. I really, you got so much value from us. Please drop a comment in the box below as well. We probably kept the space for that. And I do wish you all the best, guys. Do replay this back again and again, because there's a lot of things there that you might have heard that you're not as used to hearing. But you know, if you're interested, joining with us, really encourage you to reach out with us as soon as you can so we can get started. We can teach you the 7-figure formula. There's no holding back. Get access to the best leaders that we can show you and make this happen for yourselves, just like in real life, how it has happened for Samuel right here as well. So once again, Samuel, thank you so much for taking your time, sharing with us, and being a true leader in giving back as well.
A pleasure. See you guys.
See ya. Bye.